Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 1st of November. Oh my god, where the hell has this year gone? In other news, it is 20 past 9 and I'm in my office. Whoop. I didn't record anything yesterday. Yes, I know, bad me. But it was a bit of a strange day full of ups and downs. And I was going to record something in the evening and then had to go out, so just ran out of time basically. The morning was the normal meh, can't be bothered, and then this evening I am booked for a talk, and I thought I probably should get my ass in gear. So yesterday afternoon I actually sat down and started working out what it's going to be, and wrote some notes up and started building my presentation. I'm halfway there, so don't panic, guys. I'm halfway there, and I only did it in the afternoon, so that's why I'm up early today. Get back on it. And you know what? As soon as I get immersed in that history bubble of everything that I'm doing, I just lose track of all time and just get carried away with it all and want to do this and want to do that. And it makes me remember why I gave up my work and why I am here doing what I am doing. Which is really frustrating for me. Hey ho, we'll get there. And then yesterday evening was also full of, I don't know, it was very strange. So me and Phil got back together about 5-6 months ago. And we were together when we were teenagers, so for about 6-7 years before I went off to university. And I knew his family really, really well. Like, it was a tradition of theirs on a Sunday evening to go over to his grandparents, play card games and have supper together, and I loved that. I loved that close bond. And like every Boxing Day they all get together and just eat and watch films and have a laugh and take the mick out of each other, and I miss that. Certainly because like my family is quite big. My mum's one of 6, my dad's one of 5, but we lost the grandparents on both sides. And I always think that those grandparents are quite a big anchor point. And yeah, so sadly we've lost them on both my mum and dad's side, and you can see the family like drifting apart. We do our best to like have Christmas gatherings, but it's never the same. And which is why it's really nice to actually have that back in my life. I was a little bit worried going to see his grandparents because they meant so much to me. And I didn't want to feel like I'd left them down. Like when they last saw me, I was leaving for university to get a law degree. I've come back. I don't have a law degree. I have a history degree. And so they were asking me what I do, what I'd been up to, and I explained. And they just have these big smiles, and they're so supportive. And they're just, oh well, you look well, you look happy. We hope you're okay. Come back and make sure. Don't be a stranger. Come at Christmas and all of this. And it felt like old times, like Phil playing backgammon with his granddad, and just taking the mick out of each other, and then Grandma appears with the cakes, and it felt so nice to be back in that little really warming family bubble, which I have missed. I hadn't realised how much you miss something like that, because I think it's been a natural progression with my own immediate family that we just don't, we aren't like that anymore. We try, it doesn't work. So I'm feeling a little bit more positive. As I say, I've got this talk booked this evening, which is all about the Romsey connection in World War One, which I've broken down into 2 areas. The first area is to look at the town, so the town connection, i.e. all the nationalities that came and worked in the town, and the like the industries within the community, which changed. So you had Berth and Boatyard, which became actually RAF aircraft builders, and then the second connection, which is the people, and I don't just mean like the soldiers, I mean civilians as well. So I just need to finish the people bit, which is probably going to be a little bit more difficult than I'm saying, because I will get carried away and I'll just be like, have this story, have this story, have this story, but that's quite boring. I know that. So we're going to narrow it down to probably about 5 big soldier stories and 5 civilian stories, which is today's job this morning. Now I'm hoping that'll be done by lunchtime. Gives me 3-4 hours. And then this afternoon I can get ready for my conference, which is tomorrow, and get some displays sorted. I've got all the stuff, it just needs pulling together. So that's absolutely fine. I am, however, a little bit confused about what tomorrow is. So you guys are definitely coming with me. It's meant to be about looking at World War One funding, projects that have happened, reapplying for more funding, so that hopefully will cover me. But it's also to discuss a new funding project that's happening as part of the First World War Gateways network thing that we have in conjunction with a few other committees, which I'm quite interested in because I think I may be able to get the town's community project for next year from that budget. Always thinking ahead, you've got to be. I've got a I've got project proposal to take with me. Also got Wenches and Trenches project proposal to take with me, and hopefully get someone over at HLF to look at it for me. So we can just get that in, get it dusted. We are in November. There's no reason I can't get it submitted next week to get it by the end of December. That's the plan anyway. So as you can see, I'm a lot more upbeat today. But there is one thing I want to desperately talk to you about, and that is a very I don't know whether to call him a friend or a colleague, but we've spoken. I've advised him on a few things on his project, and his project is just phenomenal. So this project, and I'm going to make sure I say this right. So it's a guy by the name of John Henry Phillips. I don't know if any of you know him. Check him out on Instagram. He is Relics of Warfare. Let's see if I can find him now. And yeah, he's a historian / archaeologist. He predominantly works in World War II at the moment because of the project he's on. On Instagram, you can find him as Battlefield Archaeologist, and his project is called No Roses on a Sailor's Grave. I love this total. It's perfect because no sailor's grave will have a rose. So what do? You take it to a memorial and it's never the same. But what if that sailor doesn't have a memorial? So John's project, let me just give you a bit of a synopsis here. A few years ago, when John was over in Normandy for the D-Day events, he met a World War II veteran by the name of Patrick. Patrick is a lovely, lovely guy. I've never met him. I've just seen him all over John's Instagram, podcasts, and I've spoken to John about him, and he just seems absolutely lovely. But he was on one of the boats going across to Sword Beach. I had to make sure I got that one right. Which unfortunately sank. He was the only survivor from his ship, and incredibly, he goes back to Normandy every single year to pay his respects. He goes to one of his friend Jack's grave, and he believes he's the only one that does. This year, Patrick asked John, if you're keeping up, well done. Patrick asked John to help him write his memoirs. And of course, John jumped on that challenge and went, yes, we will. Because Patrick was very concerned that you're getting to the point of World War II isn't within living memory anymore, and it's becoming that next stage of history, such as World War I is right now. But John didn't want to just stop there. John then jumped on this with all of his heart and said, I want to do more. I want to build you a memorial. I want to give back to you in the way that we should give back to you. And his first thing was, I want to build a memorial. I want to put a memorial as close to the point where you sank where we possibly can. And I said to I said to John, you need the permission from the town. Check, got that one. You need to decide what you want, and find a craftsman to be able to do that. I don't know about that bit. I believe he's still working on it, and I'm always here to help when he needs it. He then went on a step further and said, I want to find the boat, which I went to one of my old professor who is a naval historian, and he went, nah, not possible. John didn't take that. John went, and John is searching for the boat. I believe he will find it. I have, in my heart of hearts, I know he will find that boat because he won't stop until he does find it. And then I had this email the other day to say, Sarah, you do genealogy. How do I find Jack's family without Patrick knowing? Well, I gave him the hints and tips, and I think he's on the course to get it. And with all of the help behind him from the Canadian media company, I believe he will find them and he will reunite them all. This is a surprise side for Patrick, I believe. I don't think he's going to know, so don't tell him. But do you know what? Watching this project go from a very vague email that I got to actually seeing it launch yesterday was incredible, because although I'm not part of it, I have advised him, and I just feel like anyone that can do something like this is phenomenal. The project is being funded by you guys, so I am here, and John doesn't know I'm doing this, and probably no one will see this, but to me, I just want to see this project happen. That it needs to happen. So, if you want one history project to go and support this year, there'd be two that I would suggest. One is John's project, because it's so phenomenal. It's out of my realm because it's World War Two, but do you know what? World War Two just has as much resonance with me as World War One. When you look at the right side, I don't like the Nazi side. I don't look at the Nazi side because we need to know our own history first. Just my opinion, you can shoot me down if you want to. So this project, crowdfunded, please support John. He's incredible. His work he does is incredible. And I believe in him wholeheartedly. There is one other project which is a World War One project. It's Hill 80, I believe it's called. And it's about preserving World War One battlefields and trenches, more to the point. You can donate as much as you want, and there are like guidelines. But if you get to a certain point, you actually get to go on the battlefield archaeology sites, and that's an incredible project as well. But right now for me, John's There's No Roses on a Sailor's Grave is just perfect, and I want to get behind him completely, and say he has my support. But he knows that, because like I've been replying to his emails and everything like that. But this leads me back to the whole where I've been feeling really bleh, because I feel like what I'm doing isn't enough anymore. Like, I have these books, which are the Ramses Men soldiers stories. I have the website, but there's more ways of getting their stories out there, and we have some incredible stories. And like Phil was just saying, sometimes it's about being in the right place and the right time, and I just said, well, I feel like I'm never in the right place at the right time. So, and then mum told me, I said, well, maybe you need to be a bit more brave and just go after things. So I think that's what I have to do. This week is going to be about getting through this talk this afternoon or this evening. It is paid, so I'm really happy for that. I'll get a little bit of cash in. Going to this conference tomorrow where all expenses are paid for me as well, so there's no worry there. And then it's a case of next week we have a meeting for the town. The town committee group for next year's celebrations, and then I'm going to really get my head down. So in my head I've been thinking, what's my next step, and I don't genuinely know, but we have been thinking as a family what I could do to help myself. So I'm going to look at doing a part-time master's degree, something I'd never thought I'd say. So I'm going to speak to the Open University, see if I can do a part-time one at home on my First World War project. And I'm just going to go out there and just be like, who wants to help me? Like, this has to be an opportunity for not just me, but for Romsey to be recognised. And I think, massive thanks to John for the kick up the backside that I'm not doing enough. But no, like, and wholeheartedly, like, I feel like what I do is brilliant, but I could be doing more. And I think as long as you strive to do more, that's okay. But you have to be active about doing more as well. You can't just go, I want to do more, and then stay in bed all day. That's ludicrous. How are you going to get to do more? I feel like I've got a bit of a spark back in me. And on that note, it is now 9:30. I've been whittling on for like nearly 15 minutes. So I'm going to crack on with my presentation, get this uploaded onto YouTube. I may write a blog post probably at the end of the week reflecting on the last few weeks, because I think that's really important for people to see it documented. Like, when you go after and you strive for things, it's never simple. Don't ever go out there and think it's going to be simple. You have to put your hard work, your determination, your soul into everything. And there will be tears along the way. There will be hard work, there'll be sweat, there'll be tears, and there will be heartbreak at some point. But until you get to that bottom, you can't push yourself even more. And it's at that point I've got to now. So I'm going to take all of this fight. I'm going to get my presentation done, give that out tonight, and just chat with some people that really want to know about the town's history. And just get some feedback from those guys, and I'm going to go out to a few other like professors and professionals and get their advice, and really plan my next move, I think, really carefully, just so that I can bring that to you guys. I'm going to also change my Instagram up, and just really refocus my efforts into the history girl I think that I should be. So I hope you are all well. I hope you're feeling positive. I know sometimes we have really bad and crap days, but you've just got to see the sunshine out the other side, and go for it. I love you all very much, and if any of you are watching this, thank you so much. I will speak to you all tomorrow, probably on my way to London or on my way back from London. We'll see how that goes. Bye.